What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the right side of the map in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is Squash. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is Yoshi. Like the dinosaur, like the pet. Mario's little dinosaur. The map is Mediterranean. And Squash is currently on like some ridiculous win streak. Will Yoshi be able to break it? That is the question here. He has found himself some boar right on top of his woodline, so you can do some pretty interesting build orders with this. However, I am of the opinion, and I'm going to keep saying this until I start seeing Norse players do it and fail, is that you want to get these dwarfs out pretty much straight away. So you get one gatherer out, you get a dwarf, you get an ox cart, you get a dwarf over onto gold. It allows you to get a fishing ship and a second dock up straight away. Everything is fine, very, very fancy fresh. If you do this build order, it's much, much more challenging to get those docks up. You don't go up any faster. I'm going to keep saying it until somebody actually goes out and does it. Anyways, moving onwards and upwards, we do see Squash over here. He is going for the standard meta Zeus build, which is going to be eating your herdables and jumping over onto wood. He's actually going to have a little bit of idle time here in the town center, but it's not going to be all too much of an issue here. You can see he's trying to make sure that his pigs are in a fantastic location such that he can finish eating this one, move on to the next one, and be really, really good here to continue. He is going to have to garrison, and he's doing that nicely. Short 2 food there. Is what it is. Generally speaking, in this build order, it's actually better to be garrisoning your, or not garrisoning, like force dumping your fishing ships instead of force dumping your villages for the first little bit. I do see Yoshi trying to find some more pigs on the map, but not really having a good go of it. Oh, unfortunately, Yoshi's killing this boar out in the wrong space there. Was not markering that one back in. The villager gets hurt quite a lot, and we might actually have to see an extra ox cart getting built here. You can lure this boar over onto this gold ox cart as well if you so choose. And we'll see what's going to happen. Ooh, spicy forward temple. And Squash has already scouted that location. Very rarely do you see someone re-scouting the same situation here. So I'm interested to see what Yoshi's going to try with this. If he's just simply going to try and put pressure onto his opponent, if he's going to go after the docks or something like that. It's going to be a very, very interesting one. We don't often see the forward temple here. Now, what you probably might want to do here with these ravens is just send them back. Hide them for just a little bit, because if you send them forward and your opponent is thinking quite a bit about it, that's actually going to give away the location of your temple and give away that you are essentially forward built. Yoshi clicking up now. He's going to be going through Freya nice and quickly here. Squash not yet advancing, but he should be going fairly close to a 4:30 advance time. Normally you go about 9 fishing ship, 4:30 advance time. Very, very strong. As we see Yoshi stepping forward here, he's going to be throwing up some more houses. He might simply he's not got another dock down. He is going all in on the land. We'll see if he's going to be able to do this. He's on the wrong side for the gold mine, but either way, you do need to be able to prevent gold over this side. The only real way to make this work is to hit the enemy gold mine. It is Athena for Squash, so that's going to be a tough one for him to do all too much. And we could actually see Yoshi try and put a sneaky dock up over onto the side of the map where Squash might not be able to see. We do see that extra dock coming up is very, very late here by Squash, and Yoshi sees this, so we might actually be able to deny that. If we actually check out his point of view, he does see the dock coming up, but he was not paying attention. He's too busy moving up to the top side of the map. We see the Herso walking through, unfortunately walking straight through the town center here. As that dock is nearly halfway completed, we see the villager getting pulled off of the wood line here as Freya just about to pop here. Maybe forest fire into this location to open this up will be a goer here, and Squash manages to get his dock up as the longhouse is coming down on this location. We do see a forest fire on the back forest here as the Minotaur comes out. There is a forest over here. Both those forests do have towers nice and close here. As that Valkyrie spawns, generally speaking, it's going to get bolted fairly soon here in this game. But where did he send it is the question. Has it already been bolted? It has already been bolted. Okay, there you go. I missed things. And more houses coming up now for Squash as the Minotaur going to be hanging out over here. Yoshi moving forward with his Herser. Going to look to get some harass onto this location. We've already got the Jason and the Minotaur out as some trireme are getting built. We do have two transport ships. Now, if you do play grid hotkeys, the actual transport ship pops up before the longboat. And I did find I struggled with this for a little bit when I was learning grid hotkeys. I kept on building transport ships because it's actually in the W position. So I actually just moved it over to T and just like changed that just a little bit so that I wouldn't accidentally build transport ships. And maybe that's what happened there. Maybe it wasn't. And now the triremes coming through for Squash. They're going to do a lot of damage over here, though. The longboats of Yoshi do actually win here, as we are seeing that micro starting to come in, bringing the triremes back here. We do see a fishing ship going to be garrisoning into the dock. There are some more units starting to get produced here for Squash. We've got triple archery range up for Squash right now with a military academy. That's going to be heaps to defend this location. We do still have the restoration available here for Squash as well. Squash is like, I can't really put any pressure on here with my trireme, and this game is going to get a little bit spicy here because the thing is, Yoshi can't really push in onto this as the Toxotes are a little bit too strong here. One option that Yoshi could have gone for is a tower here with watchtowers onto this location. With all of these units, could have been a way to hold this location much easier, but with this building positioning from Squash, absolutely devastatingly good here. The house on the gold mine blocks every single path in onto this raiding situation. The only real way to hit this is to be utilizing the throwing axeman to kind of raid this, but then you're walking into Toxotes fire as more Toxotes will be coming in. We do see Squash now throwing up more houses on this location. We've got a whole bunch of longboats out now as these transport ships that Yoshi has built are getting sniped down. And now we're seeing Squash getting a little bit eager to be pushing out here. Wants to hit Yoshi just a little bit as the raiding cavalry getting split up. Maybe going to be able to get in onto those Toxotes as more raiding cavalry getting built. The throwing axemen raiding cavalry coming out of the longhouses against the mainly Hoplite Toxotes army here. Nice micro here from Squash to pull back, but he has unfortunately left himself two of these units as we do see another Valkyrie coming in to help out. The way to use this Valkyrie is to find somewhere where the heroes are not, and that would be this location here. Preventing that wood line from being gathered from is this Valkyrie's best usage at this point. As we do see the trireme coming back in here, we've got 4 trireme now to 3 longboats. So Squash is going to be able to put a little bit of pressure on here. As we see the good micro from Squash again, as the army coming forward for Yoshi wants to take this fight while Squash is attacking. We see the Ursa immediately going after this as the army of Yoshi is going to try and surround Squash's army. Squash simply going to retreat back. Going to be completely fine here as the trireme are no longer focusing the enemy longboats, and that's going to maybe equalize here as 2 trireme fall there, forcing Squash back. Nice play from Yoshi holding on to the water so far. Very, very nice. And Squash going to be retreating back into his docks. Yoshi getting maybe a little bit too aggressive here going after this, as he will be losing some of these longboats here. There are a couple of very low HP longboats and good micro from Squash, as he's also going to be losing his longhouses here. Going to be retreating away for the time being. We do see the raiding cavalry looking for some raids as some more houses are getting thrown down for Squash. The docks might get taken down. No, it's not going to happen, as Yoshi is actually throwing his longboats away, which is going to allow Squash to push back in onto him. And now we're going to see the raiding cavalry attempt to raid this wood line over here, as the wood has finished up on this position here. The villagers moving forward over here, and it is currently 97 population for Yoshi to 94 population for Squash. So Yoshi actually finding a very, very nice way forward here. However, Squash has got he's got all of his fishing ships here. He's held onto his water. The army of Yoshi retreating back. We might be seeing town centers attempting to be grabbed here, which is not actually a bad idea, though. You have to think about this maybe as if you're in a situation of Norse versus Zeus on land. In this situation, we see this quite a bit. It's actually time to go heroic age, and we actually are seeing that happen from Yoshi. He's going to go heroic age. He's going to go through Skadi here. We do see the trireme pushing back in here yet again, and this is going to push Yoshi off of the water for sure here, as the micro not really happening at this point. Yoshi just giving up. The fishing ship going to be garrisoning here, going to get a big boost to that food, and the villagers finishing up on the boar over here. There are berries on this position here. And we'll see what Yoshi's going to be able to do with this. Because he's going to be able to have Skadi. He's going to be able to have Huskars. We do see the raiding cavalry getting pushed back here. And Squash actually deciding to go for a second town center here, which is actually interesting because he's got access to this gold mine on top of this. As we do see Yoshi getting a couple of snipes over here. The army still idly sitting by here. As we do see a stray raid coming onto this wood line. Yoshi, Squash pulling back. No problems there. And Squash is going to be maybe sitting in the classical age for just a little bit long here. He's going to try and come over here onto this large gold mine, I think, as he's running out of this one. And that is all that matters for him. But there's going to be a big frost timing here onto this location. Give the town center up. Wait for the villagers to move over here. And then come in with your frost giants, with your Huskar. Frost it. All the villagers would freeze. All the army freezes. Big push from Yoshi possible here, as we do see the trireme finishing up Yoshi's water over here very nicely. And we see the raiding cavalry retreating back. And it does not look like Yoshi is going for this timing at all. In fact, he's lost all of his houses. He's actually in a really weird position here. He's thinking about getting the town center, but not getting it just yet. He's got no production facilities anywhere. There's a market? Yoshi's going for a Ragnarok tier. Loses his Frost Giant, unfortunately, there as well. Has some more raids coming over here. The villagers getting pulled back. We'll simply move over onto this location here. This is wild. Yoshi's got 25 population, or he has 25 population room here at this point. The market is up. The houses are getting spammed out. The army of Yoshi moving in onto this location. This is going to be spicy because there's no way this isn't anything but Ragnarok. If he goes tier here, I'm not sure what he's really going to be able to get. I would love to see some walls onto this location to prevent this gold mine from getting grabbed. So do a big wall around it away from this as an idea here. And Squash is still in the second age. He's not going to have access to her pacifist. So he's going to have to go hoplites here. Maybe. He might be able to get to the heroic age in time. But Yoshi very close on the food. He can actually buy some food as well if he so chooses. And at this point, he's still getting the houses up. Still not able to build those villages out. There's the frost. That's not the frost I was expecting. He's going tier. He's going tier. Oh, dearie me. Okay. We'll see if it's going to kill. It basically is hoping for a Fimble Winter that's going to pick off a whole bunch of units. He's seeing a hill fort here. I'd love to see a dock. Get a dock up and you get your Yorman Elva and that will be able to push Yoshi. Oh, sorry, that will be able to push Squash off of the water here. That will be able to push Squash off the water. And if he pushes Squash off the water, he's actually got himself a fairly decent game to play here after the Fimble Winter. But he doesn't have the dock up. So that means no Jormundelva. He's got himself only 37 favor, so it's not going to be able to make the the Fenris Wolves that you really want to make. And that Frost here, even after all those walls, does nothing. No dock. No dock. Get the dock up. Dock. There's still time. Ursa, my dude, put it up. Put the dock up. Ah! 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 33 vills to 53 plus one fishing ship as well. This Fimbulwinter is going to have to kill 20 villagers to equalize here. And it may well do that. But that doesn't mean that he's won the game. That means the game is equalized. We'll see how it's going to go. There is no units sitting back here. Squash pushing forward. Wants to take down this hill fort here. There's the Fimbulwinter. There's the Fenris Wolf. Gets some unlucky spawn here. Doesn't get a spawn on the gold mine. Does get a spawn onto these wood villages here. And he has one spawn in the main base of Squash. So he gets very unlucky over here as one Fenris Wolf does come over, or Fimbulwinter Wolf does come over here, gets one villager kill. And we are seeing Squash trying to distract his opponent's Fimbulwinter Wolves here. Doing a good job of it, actually. These villagers here retreating away. Nice choice to go this way, but he has forgotten to keep running them. There he goes. He will be losing one or two of these villagers as they are going to be getting out of here. But no Jormundelva means no free water win. He does have a whole bunch of gold in the bank, or gold in the bank, favor in the bank. He's trying to make those Fenris Wolves here. As you do see, double walls over here. Imagine if that transport ship was still alive. He could transport ship around the walls. Imagine. As we do see the Fimbulwinter Wolves, the Fenris Wolf Broods coming in here. They now have 3 in the pack doing a decent amount of damage. A 4th one is going to be coming out. Yoshi will have access to his Hypaspis, will have access to a Heracles. So we'll see how that's going to go. We do see these Hoplite defending this position here as Yoshi is trying to apply pressure everywhere. Squash with a lot of gold in the bank right now as we are seeing Yoshi grabbing himself a second town center here. And we do see the Hoplites moving over here. We could be seeing an Underworld play hitting the main base of Yoshi, killing the town center. We see a 3rd town center grab here for Yoshi as he is going to attempt to take this game into somewhat of a late game, though. He's got these 4 Fenris Wolf Broods. They're not the best unless you have 5. You really want 5 or 6 would be most preferable, but 5 are fine. The 4 Fenris Wolves feel like they just move a little bit too slow, and they're doing 25-ish damage a second. But it's just a little bit slow. But he is going to come over here, going to pick off a whole bunch of villages. Still 37 to 56 villages, though. Yoshi is very much behind here. So he's going to try and get as many kills as he possibly can. We do see the Hoplite and the Jason denying that town center from going up. That was a very, very nice play there from Squash. He does still have his Underworld, so he can Underworld on this location if he so chooses to grab the town center, have this gold mine. Feel great there. The Heracles coming in here. One of those Fenris Wolves has been taken out. So they're going to be even weaker now. Let's see. Oh, Doc. That cheeky Doc, he should have thrown it up ages ago. There is a possibility to make those Jormundelvas here. They only cost 15 favor. As we see 2 Docs getting thrown down here for Yoshi, and a hill fort on this side of the map as well, as Yoshi is like, maybe I can get a delayed gold staff on the next gold mine. As you do see that Underworld passage coming over here. We'll be attempting to take this this town center, but there are already a couple of units here sniping more villages, but it's not going to be enough as this town center is also getting grabbed by Yoshi. The map is going to be split into a very, very strange way right now, as Yoshi is unfortunately not doing all too much with this. He has not built himself that Jormundelva, instead getting the hill fort. And the Trireme are all coming over here to try and take these docks down. I don't think there is a town center in range of the water for siege ships, so the water's not that important in this game. As we're seeing some houses getting taken down, it's a very smart play there, but the houses are also getting taken down by Yoshi. Yet again, we're going to see him drop down below his pop cap by quite a bit. We'll see if he's going to destroy houses up in the face of Squash. Beautiful, beautiful game, this one. So we do see houses going down. The villagers up here onto this food. He does have some Aurochs here. What is this Auroch doing? There's a gap here. There is a gap. He has husbandry. It's fine, right? Maybe. Maybe not. Hera incoming now for Squash as well. That's going to be absolutely brutal. Squash is feeling like his economy is kind of okay here, so he just has to kind of lightning storm the enemy. And because he's underworlded here, he can just start applying pressure to the home base. Yoshi has to somehow get over there. He still hasn't gotten himself any of those Jormundelva. He's not able to do anything here as he is moving his army back. He's taking down these units. Cheeky wall getting thrown up here to block those villages, not allowing them to retreat too easily. We'll get a couple of villager snipes. It's 40 villagers to 55 plus the 9 fishing ships as the hoplites here do end up falling, or not falling, retreating. And Yoshi is going to attempt to take this location down. He does have tier, so he can get bravery, but I don't think he has it just yet. It's a lot of resources to invest in that one. Has more walls getting thrown up here for Squash. And there's still plenty of gold mines over here. As Yoshi, I mean, he's going to attempt to get a gold star. There's 1,000 gold left in this gold mine, but there is a Hera. And Lightning Storm is going to be huge here. Maybe throwing up a hill fort here might be an idea. That'll be able to deny a lot of what the damage that Lightning Storm can do. We still don't even have medium upgrades for Yoshi. It's just pure unupgraded units. No armory upgrades, no nothing. I see a Ballista coming in onto this position though. That's going to actually be a big help. It does a lot of damage. A lot more damage than you would think. But there's the Mythic Age. That'll be Medusa as well. Plus the very important Bellerophon. In its current state, Bellerophon is the best raider in the game, and I think Bellerophon is one of those units you really don't want to use in your army very much. You can use it in your army a little bit, but for the most part, just go raid with that unit and get extreme value out of it. Well, and Yoshi does decide in that moment that the game is probably lost. I think the game's still relatively close, but with Lightning Storm, he's going to lose all of his units, and the Karkanos here is also going to town on that dock. But yeah, there's not much more. I feel like had Yoshi got that Yorman Elver, that free Yorman Elver out, he could have come in, taken down all of those trireme, and then pushed Squash off of water, leveling that food advantage that he had. And then the villager differential wouldn't have been that much. And I don't think Squash gets to the Mythic Age here at any time. And that means Yoshi can stabilize and actually probably take this town center back. He might lose this, but then you're in a kind of weird late game where both of you are kind of injured quite a bit, but you kind of get there. But without that dock, I think that made it very hard for Yoshi's strategy to really work here. I would have really liked to see Ragnarok here as well. I feel like that could have been a very, very nice way forward here, but didn't go for it. And the tier did damage, but not enough. And Squash ended up holding on here, even after that wild strategy from Yoshi. Nice try. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.